Is my screen visible properly?
Yes, your screen is absolutely visible.
And am I audible clearly?
Yes,
Yeah. So, hello
loud and
everyone. Good morning. Is it fine, right? This.
yes, loud and
Yes,
clear,
yes.
Kiran.
Okay. Thank you, Priyanka. Yes. So, hello everyone. Good to see you all. Today is the last session, and today's session will be on herbarium. And as we do every time, keep chat box, keep typing it in chat box. Whenever I ask question, if you have any doubt, keep typing in a chat box. Keep chat box alive. And today we'll be talking about herbarium. Herbarium, look like a complex thing, a complex topic, but it's not as complex as it seems. It's a simple thing. Most of you might have pressed rose or a people leaf in your books at least once in your lifetime. Why you have done that? Maybe because you like the flower, or you might like the leaves pattern, and you wanted to preserve it. And there are various reasons why people preserve flower or leaves. Once a lady showed me her pressed rose. It was in terrible condition. Then I asked her, why you are still preserving this rose? And she said, my husband gave me this rose when we were dating it. So emotional reason. So everyone has their own reason to preserve, press and preserve the plants or flowers or a leaf. Coming to herbarium, herbarium is a storehouse of dry plant specimen. Here plants are preserved using certain techniques, methods and techniques. And these herbariums are used for educational purpose. They are used for research and scientific studies. And the word herbarium is derived from two words, like herb means plant specimen and arium means artificial place. The plant specimen stored in an artificial place. It's like a dry garden completely. If you visit any herbarium and if you see a sheets, all sheets like this, it do feel like a dry garden completely. And we'll talk. No, see, this is a typical herbarium sheet, and it has a standard size of 42 by 28 centimeters. And can you type it in a chat box why a sheet should have a standard size? If you visit any herbarium like St. Xavier's herbarium, they will give you a sheet of this size, and you have to make your herbarium in this sheet. So can you type it in a chat box why they should be a standard size? What happen if a sheet is smaller? Can you think of any reason? Systematic storing, yes. Anyone else? See, because size comparison, yes. See, herbarium sheets are stored on, one above other like this. They're stocked like this, and then they have kept in a cupboard. If sheets are of different size, different size, they may hurt a plant. Already dried specimens are very fragile due to a sharpness of a sheet edge. This all the sheets, specimen may get damaged. So that's why standard sheet is very important. If there is a standard stage, they can stock seeds on one another, and in this way they can preserve it. As Pratiksha has typed in correctly for storage, systematic storing. And again, a label will see in detail afterwards. In certain herbarium there is a standard size of label should not be too big. If it's too big, then it will take a maximum space. So it should cover a minimum space as small as it can. And specimen stitch in a middle, you know not too left, not too right. And accession number is on top, and accession number or a barcode number is given by a curator of an herbarium. This will help you. This helps a curator to find a specimen. So if you go to a herbarium and see gulmohar flower देखना है, so they will type a gulmohar in the computer, and the computer will give them a number. This number will tell them कि कौन से कबाट में, कौन से shelf में gulmohar है. So it's for easy finding. The scale is to measure, to give you an idea कितना plant का length है, leaf का length क्या है, flower का length क्या है. and they have this packet like this. A packet is stitched like this. So can you type in what you think, what is there in this packet? It's a paper packet, small. Seeds, seeds, seeds. Any other answer apart from seeds? So this fragment packet is glued to a sheet, and it contains any broken bites of pieces of a specimen. Like it can be leaves, it can be stem, it can be flower, it can be anything. Which while handling, if certain pieces are broken, they are kept in that packet, so that researcher can use that in the while if they want to observe it in a microscope. Certain at times leaves have a small leaves, so you can't keep entire sheet under a microscope. So from that packet you can take a leaf or you can take a flower and observe it under a microscope and again keep it. You can use that leaf sample you also for a genetic studies. So for that this packet is so not all the specimens will have this packet. Only if leaves are fallen or damaged, then they will stick this packet and store it here. Now a label, now we'll see a label. So suppose you are design making an herbarium sheet. So what you feel in a label, what all information should be present? See, label is different for each herbarium. Will be having a different label according to their need and information they need. So what you feel, what information a label should have? Suppose you want to make a herbarium. So, and you need, there should be some label giving a plant information. So, what you feel, what should be plant name? Of course, yes, very good. Plant name, because once a specimen is dry, it's difficult for us to identify which plant is there. So, plant name and mainly scientific name. Because if a foreigner is there, foreigner will not understand people bargad. So scientific name is something which everyone knows and understand. Habitat, yes. Species, herb, shrub, or tree, yes. Adaptation, condition, good. So this is an herbarium label collected from, yes, collection data location. So first is, so we'll go collection number. Collection number is a number by a collector. Suppose so when a researcher, for example, this is a collection number of J.N. Chowdhury. So we can say J.N. Chowdhury has collected so far 32,000 species. So it's a no. Earlier it was a matter of pride for a botanist or a collector to no, मेरे पास मैंने इतना collect किया. So it's a collector number. So if you go to any herbarium, for if you go to St. Xavier's herbarium, like Swidel madam has done a research over there. So you will have a Swidel madam collection. So every botanist have a collection. So you can write collection one. So if you go to Lal Bagh Botanical Garden of Bangalore, so you have collected few plants. You collected 10 plants. So every plant will be a number. So a collection number. It is your collection number. Date of collection, date of collection again is very important. It will give you a data of season. Plant May में flowering था, monsoon में flowering था, summer में flowering था. And as we discussed, scientific name and family. And as some of you have written, habitat, which habitat it is, tree, herb, shrub, or tree. Nature and flower color is not mentioned in many labels, because as I told, labels should be small enough. But if you write it, it's good, because once a specimen is dry, color is lost. So if you mention a color, it's a good thing. Again, a locality, in which area, and again location has to be specific. You can't write Mumbai, you need to mention Mumbai mein kahan pe, Dadar, Parel, Baikala. If it's a Baikala, where in Baikala, near station, is it in a Rani Bagh? So location has to be properly mentioned, because if someone after 10 years, if they want to go there, because people have done this, after 10 years they have gone to a similar locality and they have found a plant. It should be in such a way. Collector and identified by. So in this case, the collector and a person who have identified is a same, but most of the time it's different. Earlier, botanists used to sit in one place, and they used to send their students or other to collect a plant specimen. So in many cases, collector is different, and the person who is identified botanist is a different. So even in a botanist group, so the people who are doing a research in, say, for in a grass, they do tell a fellow botanist ki, if you're going out, if you find some strange grass, please collect for me. So if I'm going to a Goa, and if I collected a grass, here it will be my name, and a botanist to whom I've given, his name will be here. So collector and identify by can be differ. Then a remark. Remark, you can mention whatever you feel it's necessary. You can mention that. So you can mention. See here, he has mentioned about moss. Flowers are white in color. Fragrance, fragrance of a flower. If you see any hairs, we have if nectaries you have seen, or landing nectar guides, what we have studied. All these things you can mention. Somya is asking, does specimen hold much more value than multiple photograph or even drawings? Yes, because photograph, you only certain angle you can take it. But if you think about a specimen, for example, a specimen, there are certain glands near the stalk, the minute hair, the tip. So all these things cannot be covered in a photograph. So that's why specimen hold a lot of importance. That's why even after the photograph is there, people do refer herbarium to verify identification. And as compared to photo, illustrations are more important, because again, because in illustration many a times, person who paint that, they do draw minute details, but in photographs sometimes that details are missing. So I would say herbarium specimen first, then illustration, and lastly photographs. So location data. Now we'll see a role of herbarium. Before uh, starting with how to make a herbarium, before we learn how to make a herbarium, we'll see what is the importance of herbarium, what role herbarium plays. First is location data. That's play a crucial role. Using just a location data, researchers can prepare a distribution map of plant present in particular area. You can't roam in a Western Ghat throughout a season, in a different season. That's why people do refer herbarium sheet to map presence of plant in a particular area, because there are few plants, just after a monsoon, within a 2 weeks, they complete their life cycle. If you visit a third week, it's not there. So that's why location data is very important. You can write a research papers using that location data. You can map an entire. So due to this COVID, many of the botany students couldn't go out. Botany students have to do this MSc project in the final year, but due to COVID they couldn't go out. So they have taken a project, using herbarium location data. They have made some project using flora. They have made some projects. So this location data plays a crucial role. And herbarium sheet is very handy. For example, sometimes a researcher want to see some species found in Himalaya, and it's not possible to visit that country. For example, this Sosaria abaveta, Brahma Kamal, found in Uttarakhand, and it flowers between July to August. If someone wants to study this flower, they need to wait till the season. They need to wait till August. It's not possible. So in this time, herbarium sheet comes handy. And most of the people call this plant as a Brahma color. This is not a true Brahma Kamal. It's a cactus species. which blooms at a night, and people grow this in their house. Understand, it's in a Brahma Kamal. Brahma Kamal means a king of Himalayan flower. You know, you need to make an Brahma Kamal can't be grown in your pot. To see that, you need to make a lot of effort. So herbarium also help you in identifying. Suppose you feel no, it's in a Brahma Kamal. You can take herbarium sheet of sheet, and then you can see a match all the characters. Flower same dikh raha hai, nahi. Leaves that differ. So like this, you can identify the species. Then you can see other sheet. So you can see the other sheet. Flowers are same, its leaves are same. So in this way, many people use herbarium sheet to identify. In this, there it's easy, but in certain species, the difference lies in minute hairs. The difference lies in just a nectary glands. So in that, for minute observation, herbarium sheet plays a lot of importance. Next is environmental impact assessment. Before start of any project like building dams, bridges, or environmental survey of any area, we want to build a dam here. So before a start of project, a survey is done. During the project, a survey is done, and after a project, a survey is done. So to understand what species were present before, during construction, how much species got affected, and after a project, what is the condition. So while doing this study also, herbarium help is taken to make a report. Sometimes if this study is not done, then especially in that case, again herbarium is used to understand ki, due to a bridge, how many species got extinct, how many species, and what can be done now to minimize a loss. For teaching, herbarium is very useful for students. By sitting at one place, they can study a species which is present throughout a world. Teachers use herbarium to show a particular character of a flower, fruit, which may not be available at that period. For example, jamun fruits flowers are not available in December, so herbarium sheet is used in that case. So every year we take BNHS botany course participants to St. Xavier's College Herbarium, and this visit is full. Uh, so herbarium sheet. This is a pineapple herbarium sheet. If you can see. So herbarium can range from small personal collection to large collection of college, university, private foundation, even government agency. And the different types of herbariums they have been used. International herbarium, it's a Kew Botanical Garden, National Herbarium. No, So depending upon the collection of plant species in this herbarium varying according to the interest of organization. Like Botanical Survey of India has an herbarium which has all the collection. Herbarium of medicinal plants. So they will have a plants that have a medicinal property. Agriculture herbaria. This will have a food crops or weeds that grow in a field. St. Xavier's College Herbarium. They will have herbarium which is useful for teaching and research. Not only, as I told, not only plant specimen, but also label will be different. So a medicinal may there will be having a component what medicinal use, and agriculture may they will again have whether it's a weed or a food crop. So even label will be differ. Now a field notes. No, now we'll see how to make an herbarium stepwise process. How we can make to make an so it's just like last time Sudel madam has told you about a field note. See, herbarium has many advantages as well as it has a limitation. Like all necessary data concerned with a plant may not be present. No, it cannot be observed once a specimen is dry, like color of a flower, type of soil in which it grows, waxy pattern, branching pattern, or habitat, texture, pollinating agents. All these things can't be observed once a specimen, no, it's not. So that's why field book is very important, and all these things has to be noted before collecting a plant. So this is a sample page of Botanical Survey of India. So they will write during a collection again. So collector number again play a role here. So they collect 10 plants, and here they write. So number one is of suppose a champa, so they will write a detail about a champa plant, because once a specimen is dried, you can't identify. So this, they give a collection number one, and here field note number one, then they uh, study it together. So field notes, it's very important. So when you write, it's, they say when you write you remember characters. So that's why that's a thing, due to photography, we just click a photo and we forget about things. But when you write, you remember things. So plant collection, so can you type it in a chat box? So what type of plant should be collected for in herbarium? So you have gone to a field and you saw a plant. So if you're collecting healthy plant, endemic plant, plants which are in flowering, rare species. There is something called as collection ethics, first. So general public don't have to collect it. Photography is something which we can use nowadays. Even botanists ask themselves first, uh, why I need to collect it. Will collection of this plant contribute to education or research? If I'm no one collects it just for a time pass. So these are some of the collecting ethics which every botanist, even people who are not in a botany and collectors, they do follow it. If it contributes to education and research, then only they collect it. I- no, is collection of plant justifies your act, and what will be the impact of a population on them? What will be the impact of plant popul population, sorry, it's spelling it wrong here. Impact of population over in that area. So they say it should be 1-20 rules. So if there are 20 20 things, if there are 20 species, suppose of a rose, there are 20 rose plants. Out of 20, I can only collect one. If there are 40, then I can collect two. So it's not just like if plant hai to you'll start collecting. You should also think about uh, plant population, and do you have a permission to collect a concerned plant? So if you go to different, for example, even in Sanjay Gandhi National Park, any national park, you need to have a permission before collecting it. So even after having a uh, see, not everyone gets a permission. Taking a permission, for getting a permission, you need to show your thesis with specimen, and you will get permission to only collect that particular species. Suppose you are working on orchids, so we will only get permission to collect an orchid. And again, collection karne ke baad, it's not like they will leave you. You need to show them uh, how you have dried a specimens, where you have submitted your collection. So it is considered that you have collected a plants. That means you will make an herbarium of it. So suppose, for example, Sridhar madam has collected a plant orchid from a Sanjay Gandhi National Park, so, for her research. And after studying it, she need to make a herbarium sheet of it. She can't just throw it off. Okay, and that herbarium sheet reference number has to be given to a park and take a permission. If it's not a Sanjay Gandhi National Park, it can be someone a garden. It can be near someone farm. So before collecting specimen take a permission. And rare species like orchid, insectivorous plants, endemic plants, endangered plants, this species should not be collected because already they are rare. If we collect, uh, you know, their population may affect. And repeated collection from a single location will be avoided. Again, this will affect, uh, plants numbers. So that's why repeated collection should be avoided. And acknowledge the staff who are accompanying you. As I told you, even in a label they do write collectors and identified by. So acknowledgement has to be given person who accompany you and help you. So ideal collection should be like this. It should contain at least a flower or a leaf. Only leaf is no use because identification is difficult just by looking at a leaf. Everything is green. Yeah, is it fine voice now?
Kiran, your voice is okay. I don't think there is an issue.
Okay, yes,
Vishali
okay.
ma'am?
Yeah, yes, it's
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So as I was saying, yeah, you can't just collect a leaves. You need to have flower or a fruit because that will help you in identifying a plant. Collection twig should mean, and if I mean a flower and uh, leaf, it should be intact. It should be intact. It should not be like this. Leaf collect kar diya, flower it should not be like this. Why it should be intact? This will give you an idea whether a leaf is simple or a compound, whether it's solitary flower or whether it's an inflorescence. In this you'll not get all this detail. you know whether it's alternate, whether it's an opposite, what is, how a flower is attached. So all this information you'll get. So this kind of collection has to be made. Repeated visit is made to same area to collect a specimen in a different stages. It's like they have collected. So if it's not in flowering, you don't collect. If it's in flowering, you collect it. If it's or it's in fruiting, flower or fruit is compulsory, and it should be intact like this. It should not be like this. Very incorrect method. And if it's a small species, for example grass or any herb, whole plant is collected including underground plants like tubers, bulbs, because that part helps in this case tubers and roots help in identifying. They have certain taxonomic character which will help in identifying. So some people do collect these tubers and they grow in their garden again to study them. And as I told you, you should never collect a rare specimen like orchid, insectivorous plants. Only few researchers who have a special permission and it's very extremely important for them to study it. Only they collect it. Otherwise, the species are avoided. Succulent plants. So, can you tell me how to make an herbarium of succulent plants, aquatic plants? What do you think? How can we make dry out first? It will take a lot of time for to dry out them. Any other answer in raising? Cross section, yes, cross section is can be done. Yes, glass jar with preservatives are used in case of coniferous plants. Cone, pine cone, which we have seen in case of storage of seeds that are done. So in this, so dry out. No, dry out takes a long time. So the tissue is killed by dipping it in a boiling water, or it's hollow out. Just remove a succulent part of it, and they do treat with formalin to kill the tissue. In this way, they make a herbarium sheet. So there is a method for different species have different methods. Succulent plants have different methods. Grasses have different methods. So if you are studying grasses, you need to study how grasses are preserved. How herbarium is made of it. So today we are talking about in general herbarium. And before making a herbarium of this kind of plant, it's important to record all the characters, especially how spiny plants like that, how spines are there, how many spines are there, the structure of spines, where spines are present, attachment, like this. All these should be noted, and then you can make a herbarium sheet of it. So this is, you have collected a plant. So after collecting a plant, what you'll do, how you will you have to take it to a herbarium. So if you have collected a plant in a Kolhapur, and you have to submit it to a St. Xavier's College, which is in Mumbai. So how you will carry this plant? Can you comment in a chat box? Suppose not this, hibiscus plant. You have in a newspaper. Yes, good. In a newspaper. Any other way apart from newspaper? If you want to plant it in somewhere else, so you can take it in a wet cloth. If you want to take it for an herbarium, in a newspaper you carry a specimen. Collected specimen is kept between a newspaper because it's easy to carry without damaging a plants, and this is a correct way. No, in case of if you want to plant it somewhere else, it should remain a fresh. But if you want to make a herbarium sheet, you want to dry it. That's why we keep it in a paper. In a box also, if in box, every specimen will get mixed up. So you can keep all these papers in a box, then you can carry it. But all the specimen has to be kept like this, and you need to neatly fold. Needs to You can see how neatly they have kept it. This grass is really long, so they have folded it. For example, this is a dense specimen, so we don't require this much to make an herbarium. So while making an herbarium sheet, it should be in such a way that all the characters are visible. In this you can see a leaflet. In this, it's a bit difficult. So that's why sometimes the things are trimmed. you know with experience, you learn how much to trim. So here you can see, even while keeping it in a paper, you need to keep it in a right way. Here you can see leaves are folded. They will break after some time. Once they are dry, they will break it. Here you can see a petal is folded. It should not be like that. All the characters should be visible. You should press it in such a way that when you make an herbarium sheet, all the characters should be visible. So this is a right method of preserving it. And again, you can see you need to spread out. It's not like this, just thoda or paper mein rakh diya. Because if you just keep it like this, afterwards it will be difficult for you to spread out. After once a petal get folded like this, afterwards it's very difficult. These petals are gone, leaves are gone. This petal is gone. So right after collecting it, when you keep it between a paper, that's a very crucial step. Spreading out, trimming out, and again, right method of preserving. So all these are the steps include for making a herbarium. We'll see one by one. So after pressing it, you bring it to a herbarium. The collected plant is poisoned using a formalin to kill that plant. Why kill a plant? Can you tell me why we should kill a plant? Why this formalin is sprayed? You can see, there is a tray. He's dipping it in a formalin. Fungus, yes, yeah. Fungus can be a reason. Preservation can be a thing. To get rid of insects. Yes, yes. So we have something called as quarantine. So quarantine is even it's something which is followed in herbarium. So whatever specimen we bring, herbarium cupboard is inside, and whatever specimen we bring is mostly outside. Once they are preserved and everything is done, then they are then you can take it to a herbarium cupboard, because the plants which are we are bringing, they may contain a fungus or an insects which may affect entire thing can be spread. So fresh specimen, it's not allowed where herbarium cupboards are there. So that is followed. This using formalin. See, in nature, as leaf age, as leaf age, a layer is formed over here. A layer is developed. As it age, a layer is developed. This layer, cut off a food and water supply. As food and water supply is cut off, the leaf fall off. So old, no. So here in herbarium, what we are doing it, we are killing a plant. We are harvesting a plant so that it does not form an abscission layer. So we are killing it so that if we just keep this plant like this, an abscission layer will be formed and these leaves will fall out. No, as they age, they will fall out. But when you spray this like this, you are arresting a plant, you are killing a plant, and there will be no layer formed, and these leaves natural, they won't fall. So this is one reason of doing an of spraying a formalin to prevent an abscission layer. Then a pressing is done. Once pressing is done, by keeping it under a pressure like this. You have to keep it a weight near this. So a heavy weight is kept on a plant specimen. This will help to loosen a moisture. And as you know, if there is a moisture, then there is an attack of fungus and other bacteria even. So this is done to loosen a moisture and make specimen completely dry. And while keeping also, specimen is kept in between, so it should have a uniform thickness. And the main objective, pressing is done mainly, so it depends species to species. So there are some species which take a longer time. There are some species which take a lesser time. Mainly it is done for 15 days. Then drying a specimen, this kind of technique, see, this is an artificial dryer. uh, in India it's not that common because it's an expensive dryer. Advantage of using this artificial dryer is color of flower or color of leaf is not lost. If you're drying it, a normal technique like using this technique or just keeping it in a presser, color of flowers will be lost. Then a mounting of specimen is done in a sheet, as I told you, a standard size of sheet. Aim of mounting should be in such a way that a plants should be spread out, all the characters should be visible, and it should be in center as much as possible. So stitching is used. Stitching is the most common method. So can you tell me why stitching and why not we glue the plant? So there are some herbarium they use a glue, but many prefer stitching. So can you type it in a chat box why stitching and why not glue? Replaced easily. Yes. Glue can damage a plant. Yes. Glue can damage a plant, and even replace is easy with glue. Yeah. Glue comes out. Yes. So there are, if you go to herbarium, if you can see there are specimen of uh, 1850 like that. So plant is in good condition, but a paper is not in a good condition. So herbarium curator they do it. They just remove a stitch and replace a paper. And stitching is not done. Individual stitches are there. Individual knot is made at a end so that it's easy to remove. Identification, in most of the cases identification is done at earlier stage but if someone don't know, they can once a plant is stitched, they can do identification using a flora, or any botanist can help you. And then comes a labeling. After then you stitch a label to a sheet, and as normal cardboard paper is used for making a herbarium sheet, a normal cardboard paper is used. And again, the pen you use it usually it's in printed, or you use ball pen, not a gel pen or anything. A permanent ink type of it use it. And in some cases, it, as I told you, different herbarium have different. It depends upon your if you are studying a weed, how much grown plants are idle. It should have a flower and fruit. That would be ideal, I would say. So again, it's at a right hand side and 1 centimeter above. No, there should be this is a bit wrong. Due to this, you can't see it. It should be above. It should not be at two below. There should be 1 or 2 centimeter gaps should be there, and that's how you can have to glue a label. And after everything is done, a stamping is done, a section number you get it. This is something uh, a curator of herbarium will give you. Again, it can be it is on right hand side. Once you type in a herbarium accession number, you'll get all the information of species and all the sheets, all the genus and species cover. So if you see it, hibiscus rosa sinensis. So all the species will be in one cover. And this again in a specific cupboard is there. So specimens are less damaged like this, and they are even in this cupboard there are placed according to what we can say system, like Bentham Hooker classification system. There are different the different botanists have made a different classification system to how you classify plants, like for example angiosperm, gymnosperm. So every herbarium have their own system For example, St. Xavier's use Bentham and Hooker classification system. So they have arranged their specimen according to that system. So some have used genetic system. So every herbarium have different system of uh, arrangement of species. Then comes a maintaining. So what you feel how a maintenance can is done? Can you type it in a chat box how what kind of maintenance one has to do for temperature control? Sheet is changed frequently. Pest control. Yeah. No, collectors take a lot of trouble in preparing herbarium sheet. In some cases, herbarium sheet alone act as a representative of a plant because all the plant of that locality may be missing. Due to dam or certain things, all the plants of that area might have missing. So only that herbarium sheet plays an important role. So it's important to preserve this herbarium sheet from. There is a lot of fungus and insects attack. Insects like beetle and silverfish are common enemies. They complete their life cycle in a dry specimen, within 70 to 90 days. So unattended herbarium sheet can get damaged. So regular fumigation is done. Silverfish damage is done. So regular fumigation is done to kill this pest in a mounted as well as unmounted sheets. Uh, Formalin is used. One of the volatile poison. Formalin is used, and you need to check the specimen again and again and sanitize it properly, just like as I told you, if there is a fungus or an insects attack, it will spread like anything. So uh, not only even you need to some incoming, whatever new specimens are kept, they are sometimes if a facility is available, they can keep it in a deep freezer for an overnight, or in a formalin. Once they are completely dried, then they have an access near herbarium. Now, uh, now we'll see some interesting facts about how to collect. So, can you type in how to collect higher canopy plants? So, in this case, you can see it's really high, no moist place. Yes. How to collect a plant of higher canopy? Cut it, array. No, we can't cut it. It's so big. Appoint. Yes, in this case, you can appoint a person, but in this case, it's difficult. Dry leaves, no, we need, as I told you, for making a herbarium sheet, you need intact twig with leaf, with flowers, with fruit. One has to climb and get a sample. Nowadays, we have ropes and other things to climb it, but in earlier days, they didn't have all these ropes to climb it. So what they might have done, can you guess? Now we have certain technology, certain ropes to climb it. Chop off. No, chopping off is not. They have to wait. Yes, naturally sometimes a tree falls, so they have to wait in that way. But chopping off, collect fallen tree. Yeah. So earlier they have assigned a monkeys to do that a job. They have trained a monkeys to collect a plant specimen, and it's not easy to train a monkey. Most of the time they would just collect a leaves, and as I told you, flowers and fruits are also important. And while collecting a fruit, they would start eating a fruit. Then you need to tell them or tap to a tree to instruct them, hey to khamat, your job is to collect. So it was difficult, but they did it. So they would multiple trips by monkey has been done to collect a plant specimen. photograph instead of collection. So earlier, most botanists used to collect a plant even for identification, but nowadays, many of them take a photographs. And I think as a plant lover, even you can take a photograph. There is no need to collect plant. As I told you, before collecting a plant, you need to ask, whether it will be useful for an educational or for a research purpose. So again, there is a way how to take, if you want someone to identify your plant, if you want your someone to identify your plant, then you need to take a proper photo of it. You know, this kind of photo is good for a wallpaper. It will not help in a identification. This kind of photo will help you. So if you go in a field, many people tend to take a beautiful photo, and then they will send it to a botanist ki identify. We can't identify using this. This we can guess what a plant is. Again, for a leaf, this is good for a wallpaper. This will not serve identification process. This kind of photo, although it doesn't look fancy, but it does help in identification. You can see arrangement of leaf, you can see whether it's a simple or a compound leaf. Don't pluck any photos plants for photograph. Again, for a flower, one shot of a inflorescence, how a bundle of whether it's a racemose, whether it's a cymose. And again, a close-up shot of a flower, how petals are, what color of petals, whether it has some nectaries, some nectar guides, anther colors, like this. If possible, a you know pollinator visiting a flower. Fruit, in a similar way, fruit also, a bunch of fruit, then a single fruit, showing all characters. This will be a ideal photography. Just for example, I've told you, for herbarium also you need a flower or a fruit photo, fruit collection. In a similar way, either leaves be hai and even flower be hai. So like this. For a smaller plants, you need to take habitat. No, we can understand which habitat it's growing on. And again, many a time people just focus on a flower. So whenever you take flower photos, do take flower photo. Along with flower, also take leaves photo. you know and many a time people tend to take a zoom in photo, and you get a bigger picture of a flower. Look, this flower is really big. You go to field and you look for a bigger size flower, but actually it's really small flower. You can say it's really a small flower. So zoom in pictures are a kind of creates a confusion. So this was all about herbarium. Now we'll see about something plant information. What all books, apps one can refer, to continue a study about a plants. This all information can make you independent to continue a plant study. So all this, I've just taken a few example. You you can add more in a WhatsApp chat. For example, first book is a tree of Delhi. Again, don't go by name. People thinks it's a tree of Delhi means only it's useful in that area, but it can be used in all the states because content covered in this so vast that various states avenue trees are covered. And again, a jungle tree of central India. It has has good collection of plant information, and it's easy to identify. Just looking at a leaf, just looking at a bark and flower, you can identify a plant, which can be a pride collection if you have it, and it's a good investment. Next, we did a webinar on edible plants. So now this book again is a treasure of knowledge. This book has a chapter on edible leaves, flower, fruits, and seeds. It is not only no, it has a good write up, but no, everyone do talk about this plant is edible, this flower is edible, but no one tells you a recipe of the recipe how to cook it. So this book has a recipe as well, a wild vegetable information as well as a recipe. A flavor of spice, and this curry discuss about a journey of spice, an interesting a fact, and even a morphology of spice. So this is a good collection if you want to study a history of fruits, vegetable, and spice. Next, for plant and animal interaction, again this books discuss about a fig tree, entirely about a fig tree, and this is about birds in agriculture, how birds are good, how birds help in agriculture. This is a free to download. This is book by Raju sir, and it's free to download. You can search it in from ResearchGate. I think it's free to download. Next, again, this tree. Someone has posted this in a WhatsApp group, and this I've read it personally. It's a very good book to understand how tree communicates with each other, defense mechanism, how it works, how they take help of fungus in communication. And then comes a plant and animal interaction. Plant and animal interaction is so vast topic that if you read about a specific species, then you'll get to know how we interact with a plants. For example, this is book on ants. So it has one chapter on how plant and ants interact with a plant. So again, you can search a specific species, and then you can search how it interacts with a plants. And this is for common read, like Garden of Life by Naveen Patnaik. It has a section like sacred plant, medicinal plant, cosmetic and culinary plant. So it has a beautiful write-up, and I think it's free to download. If you just type it, you'll get this book. And trees of common India and common trees. Again, it's have a good information and description about common avenue and forest trees. Cities and Canopies is a wonderful book, and because it has interesting and unusual fact about a tree. So this is a recent book, and it has a good information, something which you don't get when you Google it. Katie Bagley. I'm a big fan of Katie Bagley writing. She explains a complex topic with the help of stories, which will help you to remember a plant and its characteristic. So this book look like it's for a kid, but it's a great read. Trees of Mumbai and Trees of Karnataka. So tree, I like Trees of Karnataka because it's like Trees of Delhi, similar. If you want to do a plantation, if you're one who does a plantation, this tree is an excellent because it has very symbolic. There is no much text, but you can understand a lot of things just by looking at a symbols. So it's a great book. And Mangroves. I have mailed you this book by Katie Bugley, Mangroves. Next week I'll send you this. Again, this has a great information about mangroves. Talking about medicinal books, there are many medicinal books. I've not read many medicinal books, but out of all, I've referred this and I felt this is really good. Food that heals. It talks about normal fruits like common fruits and vegetable, and how it can heal you. Home remedy, is something which we are forgetting. Knowledge and wisdom of home remedy is something which we are losing. So foods book like this can help you. Bakru has many books, home remedy book, foods that heal. and he has a naturotherapy. So he has a range of book. Of all the book, this is I like this one. And again, Rujuta Divekar, Indian Superfood, discuss about common food like kokum, jackfruit, rice, their nutrition quality. Again, this is a good book. Plant stories, and these are amazing book if you would like to know about plant stories from mythology, folk tales, religion, belief. So these stories will help you to remember a plant. And sometimes, the story is something which can even explain a morphology of a plant. It's easy to remember a plant morphology if there is a story connected to them. So, but while reading this book, you need to keep your logic and common sense aside. If you think ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, plant थोड़ी बोलता है, so you'll not get a essence of the story. You need to believe whatever storyteller tells you, and you need to that's when you can travel with a storyteller. So some story you will understand of this book, and some you will take a time to get it. Again, one of the best way to buy a book, there are many different ways. But scrap dealer, for example, like recently I went to a scrap dealer, and he had many books, old books kind of. So I told him koi plant pe koi book hai, ped paudha pe book hai, to show it to me. So he started showing many garden books, अमेरिकन गार्डन बुक्स में बोले अमेरिकन मत दिखाओ, कोई इंडियन रहेगा तो बताओ. So he showed this book. I've just gone through this book. It has a good information. It is a very very old book. So I told him कितने में दोगे. He said 300. And as an Indian, without bargaining we can't purchase anything. So 300 ने 150 में दे दो. He said नहीं, हाँ नहीं. Then he gave it in 150. So after coming home, I just wanted to check कि actual price क्या है इस book का. When I checked it on Amazon, it was like 4,750. So you can get a good deal. Even this book has a cover like this. I have removed it. So you can get a good deal, and it has a good. This is a good book because it's a very old book. When that time pictures were not there, so illustrations are there. So again, illustrations are good, and some of the rare information which is not available in Google or any of the new books is present in this book. So you can get a treasure like this if you go to a scrap dealer. And like websites, so some of the useful websites like Flower of India is again a best website. It covers most of the plants, and you can search a plant based on its name. If you feel कि orchid hai, so if you go to orchid, and you'll get a picture of all the orchids. Based on that you can identify कि, based on picture you can identify like cactus, veins, flower of fragrance. If you just click here, and you can compare the photo and identify it. And even common name, if you type it, you'll get it. A tropical plant, tropical plant, this is also amazing plant because it has some interesting and unusual fact about plants. You can get it. You can search based on a botanical name or a common name. There are tons of website regarding plants. These two are best. Apps, regarding apps, Godrej app on mangroves and endemic plant is the best because in this app you can identify species based on leaf, flower, and name, and it also has good information regarding mangroves. So if you want to study a mangrove, uh, this book is just like having an entire this app is just like having an entire book. So this has endemic plant of western grass. iNaturalist is a citizen science, uh, is something which can help you in identifying a plant and animal around you. You just need to upload a photo, and this there are people who will tell you a plant's name of that plant. And again, season watch. In season watch app is for observing seasonal change in a plant. You need to register your favorite tree, a tree that's grow near you, then you need to regularly monitor that tree. You need to visit that tree at least once in a week, and you need to observe whether it's in flowering, fruiting, whether it's have a new flush of leaf, whether leaves are falling, and you need to record that in this app. If you do it throughout a year, you will have a complete data, and you can say due to climate change, or due to a temperature, a flowering has shifted, or flowering is postponed, or flowering is preponed. All these things can be observed. Facebook group, there are many Facebook group again. Out of all the Facebook group, this is a best one, because it has many botanists, scientists, and citizens who are interested in plants, and they can help you in plant identification. And documentaries, these two available in on YouTube. So Secret World of Plant discuss more about plant communication and plant and animal interaction. If you want to know about a ficus plant, then this is the best documentary. In Africa, ficus species are known as queen of trees. So this is a beautiful documentary. It will take you inside a ficus world. So thank you. So there are many books, apps, and website. I've shortlisted very few which are easy to digest and which will hook you and which will develop your interest in a subject. And more than 90%, what I've recommended, all this have written by a non-botanist. Uh, so what I mean to tell you, no, there are few subjects you don't need a degree to master that subject. Like for example, for to study plants, you don't need a degree. It's all about your passion, interest, and effort you put to understand that subject. You know? As Sweden madam have told you, there are we had few participants, have done this course, and now they are teaching it to a botany students. Now they are teaching it to a botany professor. They are taking a trails. They're considered as more professional than a botanist. So so if you continuously learn it, you can master this subject. You don't need a degree for this. So start writing about a plants, or start taking a trail. It can be about your favorite fruit and favorite flower. It can be anything. So start writing it and start referring, all the things, and continue studying. So this was a last. I'll stop my screen. We'll take question answers. So someone was asking about aquatic plants, how to make herbarium of aquatic plants. Similarly, you just need to write if it has a succulent issue, then you need to hollow it out. Similar way, even algae is done. There might be different chemical they might be using it, and or for specifically preservation, you need to study a manual. Digital herbarium is possible. St. Xavier's College is doing a digital herbarium. What they do is they just take a photograph of, they keep an herbarium sheet uh, no, in a platform, and they take a photo from a different angles, so that all the angles are, yes, you can refer a recording session later. Uh, I can just tell you that last year participants still have access to the session. So we don't just take it out. So you can imagine, still last year participants can access it. Can we visit herbarium? So if we if things are good, we can arrange uh, to herbarium. But now we can't say anything because even St. Xavier's College is closed. But every year we do visit herbarium. You need to take a prior permission to visit an herbarium, and if there is a large good group, then they give an permission. So you can individually go to herbarium, but I don't know how much you'll able to see and learn, because if entire group goes there, then there is a proper lecture. Introductory level for identification, I will just suggest Trees of Delhi by Pradeep Krishnan. Yes, field trips are arranged for, we have Facebook page, Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you can just follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can will get you'll get a notification. College botany is something which is for plant science. No, college botany they suggest. So if anyone wants to, Uday sir, I didn't get your question. Can you unmute and ask, or you can explain? Height is we don't measure height. Measuring height is not possible.
If anyone wants to say anything, they can raise their hand or unmute themselves and say. Or we can take a group photo once. If you don't take group, Priyanka, what do you say?
Yes, sir. Yes, Kiran. I think we should take a
We
group
can then
photo.
interact afterwards, because some may leave if we
Yes,
don't.
yes. So
Yeah. So
let's
start your video for a few minutes. We'll take a group photo. Then we can chat. We are not ending after group photo. We can wait and talk. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Good to see you all. Priyanka, you also take. Everyone takes a screenshot. So best screenshot, we can post it in a group. Others, that's why I've told, पहले ही बोल के रखा था, तैयार होके आ जाओ.
Yeah, done.
We have taken a screenshot. So if you want, you can switch off or we can talk like this. If anyone wants to ask any question, the switching off everyone. Okay.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself and talk, or chat box you can type in. So if you want to say anything, yeah, you can contact me anytime. You have my number, you have my email ID, you have me now, right now in front. So if you want to say regarding your experience, your learning, you can unmute yourself. No one wants to say anything. You want to ask anything regarding course? Certificates will be provided to you next month.
So, will this chat group be active or will it be discontinued?
So WhatsApp group will be there. WhatsApp group will be there, and even Google will be there. So yes, as I was saying, WhatsApp group will be active. Google group will be active. So if you are doing, say someone said herbarium visit. So if you are taking some botany group to herbarium, we will post it. If someone is interested, they can join in. So if you are conducting a plant trail or a webinar like this, we will keep you posting about information about our courses and everything on a WhatsApp group. I hope you got to learn a new thing through this course. Anyone wants to say anything, they can unmute themselves, can say or ask.
Ma'am, suppose if we post some pictures of trees which we couldn't identify, will you please help in
Yes, yes.
identifying
No,
the photograph?
I don't, the moment you post it, I don't reply immediately because I want other to try in identifying it. So if others do it, then and I'm happy. But when other fails to do it, then I give it a try, because it's about not me who is doing it. It's about group learning and trying a bit. So if someone posts it, you try want participants to try identifying it. If everyone fails to do it, then I jump in. I wait till others comment.
For that, we can use the WhatsApp group.
Yes, you can use a WhatsApp group.
This is Nivedita here. I have a farm in the Page Forest basically. And what happens is that now in the monsoon, we are going to have lots of, other than the trees which we have there, we have all sorts of weeds coming up there now. And there are like hundreds of varieties and different, and it's a very big land, nearly 18 acres of land. So, most of the weeds, we try to keep them, not remove and all that uproot. But now some of them, these tribals say they are edible, they are good weeds and all that.
Yes,
So I would like to have a help, if I post some pictures or something like that, so for us to know which are good edible weeds or which weeds we can keep, they can be as like a ground cover also. So I
Yes.
would like, yeah, help in regarding that also, basically. So
Yes.
maybe in the
So
group I
if
can.
there is a lot of, if there are few things, you can post it on a group. If there are a lot of things, you can mail it, because everything
Yeah,
will be
sure,
organized. You
sure.
can mail it in a drive, and And again, I will say it edible. Edible things again, it differ. I can tell you a recipe because even I don't know many of the recipes. So you need to. It will better if you ask them how to cook it because the many beats they will give you a itching. So you need to add a tamarind. You need to add a kokum. You need to add a kakad. Like,
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Whatever, sir, I'll mail you otherwise, if, regarding some
so
information.
whenever someone says this wild vegetable is edible, there are some parts of it are edibles. For example, some flowers are in case of flower, anther or a pollen, what we have studied, it's not edible. Whatever there are many edible, that part is never edible. You need to remove that part. So most cases, petal or a sepal is edible when it comes to a flower.
Okay, sure. I'll do that because they have their some Marathi names or some of them are from their NPWara names. So many times it is confusing, you have to find out what the botanical name would be also of any weed or any plant there. So I'll contact you if there's some doubt. Thank you so much.
So field visits, yes, we do field visits. Due to COVID, we are not doing it. But every year we take botany participants to CAS, Lonavala. No, this is a plant crash course. We have plant field course, field course in botany.
Okay.
So we do take field visits. So if we have low participants registration, then we open a slots for other groups. For example, lead biodiversity group or other plants group. So if you are doing a field visits, we'll surely post on a WhatsApp group. You can join.
Yeah. Let's hope in the future I do have people coming there for field visit because of the beautiful forest there in Pench. Sure. Thank you so much.
We'll contact you if we are nearby. Yes.
Sure. Any days. Sure. Thank you so much.
Anyone else who would like to share their experience, would like to talk or ask anything? Come on, this is the last day. We won't be meeting next Saturday.
I think Kiran.
Yeah. No. Yes. Thank you, participants, for being interactive throughout the session, throughout all the session, and asking interesting questions. So thank you very much. We had a great time. Every Saturday it was a great time to be here. So you will be having access to a recorded session for a long time, and certificates by next month will be mailing you. So as there is no doubts, or then we can end this session, right, Priyanka?
Yes, Kiran, absolutely. And thank you so much for being a wonderful participants. The CEC, the Conservation Education Center, Goregaon, is open now for visitors. So if you are in Mumbai or around Mumbai, in case you are visiting Mumbai, you can, just come there, and the monsoon flora has started. You can just come there and enjoy your time. So yes, you all are invited to CEC. You can come anytime, like from 7 in the morning till 5:30 in the evening, you can stay there. So thank you so much, everyone. And as Kiran said, we'll be mailing you all the certificates and recorded link of this session soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.